Back in September 2020, we sold our house in the UK, then moved to Normandy in France, where we bought an ancient French farmhouse with various outbuildings, including an old barn, a small cottage with 2 woodlands, and 3.5 acres of pastured land in a beautiful national park area. Follow us on our journey as Budo and I renovate the farmhouse, manage our land, and take on many projects for you to enjoy. Let the fun begin. Bonjour everyone, hope you're all okay.
Welcome to Caravan Corner again.
We're back.
Yeah, so we've been away for a few weeks, no videos, as you've noticed, and the reason is we wanted to have a break. We didn't want to have a burnout in what we've been doing, so we had a break from all the work and a break from filming. We put the cameras away, and we didn't, everywhere we went, because we went to friends' houses, went out to invites, went out sightseeing, and we just left the camera at home because
and big greniers as well.
Big greniers, yeah. So we've had a good time and getting immersed into France, and but we're back now. So
the only thing really I was doing during that break was obviously doing the potager.
Potager.
That needed
well,
to be relaxing.
Yeah, we kept up with a few things around the house. We weren't just completely stopped.
No.
But
it's been nice.
I just want to say about the YouTube, it is quite demanding because it's every week. You must make sure you got your videos up, and we calculated the times, didn't we?
Yeah.
For how long things take, and this is from beginning to end. So filming, setting the filming up, doing the editing. Sorry, that's the dog jumping. Doing the editing, and then the rendering, then loading it up to YouTube, and all this takes time, and it roughly anywhere between 7 and 9 hours a week. But we was quite shocked with that the amount of time you put into it, and we're trying to get a video out for you for every week, and bearing in mind there's only 2 of us here doing all the work, so it's it's just bear with us, and we'll try and get you a video out next week, a week after, and so on. But
we had a visit as well from our patrons who you saw in previous videos, Christy and Paul Bellamy, and they came with their daughter and son-in-law, so that was really nice. We spent a few hours here, so that was nice.
We've got another one coming in 3 or 4 weeks. They're coming to stay with us for a week.
Yep, Albertha and Up Maya.
And hopefully Albertha and Up get your wellies and all your bits you need, because you're going to be doing some jobs as well.
They've bought a camper van, so they're going to stay on the land, so I think that'll be a lot of fun, won't it, as well? So looking forward to seeing them.
So we basically, I got back onto the porch, built the roof on, put the trusses on. You'll see all that. Just moving on with that a little bit, and there's a little bit of laths I put on to show you how to, eventually I'll show you how to do my plastering and so on. The next phase, which will be next week, will show you putting the tiles on the roof, the slate tiles on the nice oak roof. Tracy's been busy, like say, up in the garden, and
I've also been in the front room, started all the ceiling, which you'll see in this video. I've already done the filling, sanded down, so I've given it its first coat now of ceiling paint, all the beams, everything, and it's looking really nice
and bright now.
We are very happy with it. So next step for me will be doing just the fine filling, isn't it? And doing the caulking as well. And I've done a little bit, this will go to the patrons, of painting the furniture in our bedroom, because I bought some lovely side cabinets which I've revamped and given a little bit of gold bling, but that will go to the Patreons. But then in the future, when we're at the stage of the flooring going in the bedroom, then YouTube will be able to see that.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, but they look lovely, don't they? They've come out.
But talking about patrons, we'd like to build our patrons. We'd like to see, so if you feel like you want to join the journey, come along, get a little bit of extra footage and so on. It's not a lot of money. I mean, it starts at £3, is it? Something, and then it goes up to what you want to pay, and the higher the tiers, the more you get, basically.
And also, when you're with us over 3 months, you will either have your name put onto a tree as we buy them,
Yeah.
or a lavender row, which
Yeah,
we've done already, which
You'll
obviously
see this in this video as well. So
the plaques that I've actually done. But I'd like to thank a new patron who joined our journey, and that is Mrs. A. Thank you so much for joining our journey. And also I'd like to thank Truman Marlowe, who bought 5 coffees.
Yep.
And
Lovely.
this was all linked to doing the sawhorses, wasn't it?
yeah.
So he's really grateful.
He wanted
so
to make
thank
the
you.
sawhorses. Apparently, he saw the video and he's following along, and he felt that he wanted to contribute for the knowledge given to show him how to do that. And what I will do is in carpentry show you the most simplest version of how to do things. I'm not a teacher or nothing, but I'm just showing people the best way that I feel that they can have a go at it, basically. But that's the patrons, and then obviously we want to try and build up the subscribers. It's gone up and down since we've been away 4 weeks. I think it went up to, we looked at 7,014, and now it's gone down to 7,007. So people, obviously some people are not happy and they didn't like us having a break, but hey ho, it's one of them things.
So I also just want to quickly say thank you to Karen, who bought us a coffee as well. And I hope I pronounced this right. It's either Koj and Ned or Koi and Ned. I think it's Swedish, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Thank you all anyway, we really appreciate it. And the thing is on the Buy Me a Coffee, we're going to be putting up a wish list of things we're going to get, and it'll be based around the beekeeping and certain things that we would like to get, which we haven't got here. We did have in the UK, but we had to get rid of because we moved here, we couldn't bring them here. But we would like to get some new bits, so possibly a new honey tank, spinner, and a few little things, crusher and so on. I'll talk about that in another video.
What we're going to be doing as well is that once we've started cutting all the lavenders, we're going to be cutting to make obviously more lavenders, but once we cut the flowers, I'm going to be drying them all exactly like I did in the UK, and I have some beautiful lavender sachets which will be put together, and they will be going on our Etsy shop to sell. So you'll actually have homegrown lavender from French Farmhouse Diaries, which I think will be
there's a little bit in this video, you'll see me walking through the lavender, and it's right up here now. It's really beautiful. High, smells delicious, and it's only 4 rows, so we're going to have the whole field eventually, but you'll see that coming as well. So we've got loads of projects like I've told you in the past on videos, but we need to we need to have a rest, which we've done, and we feel rejuvenated. We're ready to go again for some videos. I've got a one quick thing I want to say before we go, because we will wrap it up now. We got a company reached out to us about a bike, an electric bike, right? But ironically, a couple of weeks before that, we was talking about buying Tracy a bike, one of these electric bikes, to go up to the town, because it's 2 miles roughly to the nearest shop to get food and bits, essentials and that. So it would have been handy if she had that electric bike, she could go up and down. And we was looking at them, and they were so expensive, they were over 1,000 and way up. And we thought, well, maybe we'll leave this for a little while. And then this company reached out to us. They didn't know we was doing that, and they've sent out a beautiful bike, and I'm going to do a little video of it next week for you to see. So tune in and see that, because it's I could ride as hard as I can on a normal bike and never catch her. It's amazing. Anyway, but you'll see
so
that.
we'll be doing the unboxing. That'll be all coming from next week's video. But so we hope you enjoy, and
sorry about being a bit long-winded, but we have not been here for 4 weeks, so
I wouldn't have bothered saying that, because they know what we're like now. But don't forget to share, like, and as soon as you see our video come up, put your notifications on, and just, if you haven't subscribed already,
please do.
Just hit the subscribe button.
But just the subscription is free. All you have to do is push subscribe. Just leave it there, forget it. It doesn't affect you. It's not. It doesn't cost anything, but it does help us, because the more subscriptions we get, the more we get pumped out onto YouTube. The bigger we can grow, and then the more we can do. Without having to have these breaks, as that. Anyway, guys, we're going to say bye bye on that note.
Au revoir, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one. So you can see the first A-frames going in, even though you saw one against the wall, that was only temporary. I'm just putting these in now. So you can see a bit of peg joinery here.
Let me
call peg joinery.
I'll just show them this bit here.
Yeah, so that's let's just pull all the joints tight. Okay, but also on the seat cut, which is this one here, we put a hole in here, and I'll show you it now as I do it. It's in its position. I've already marked it. Thing is with oak, you have to keep pulling your drilling out to keep it clear because it bind it up. Right, so if you look over here, Trey, you can see I made some tree nails. I call them tree nails.
Very clever. Pegs,
whatever. So I'll get one of these now. It will go down in that hole there. I'll drive it home till it stops. There we go. And what that does is that stops the A-frame moving side to side. Okay, so if you go back over that way, Trey, I'll show you.
Right, just bear with me.
So the A-frame now is, you can see it can move this way.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I put them all in line, they're all pegged in. Under here, I'll put in what they call a ridge board. It's not a board actually, it's a ridge chevron, if you like, that goes under here, and that gets connected into here, and that stops them moving that way, and that will go onto the wall and be fixed onto the wall at one end, and that will lock everything up. What these do down here, if you go back over there, Trey, I've got a point so you know where you're going because it's dangerous up here. Okay, so on these joints you've got this overhooking both sides, so that stops it going outwards, and then these pegs going in at that angle stops it going that way. So there's no, it's like a lock that goes in like that and locks it. It can't go either way. Okay, this is a very old type of joinery you don't see nowadays. People don't use this no more. This is very ancient. Okay, and that was just in there to lock these in instead of putting, well, they never had big nails to put in like we do today. We just drive nails down there. It looks ugly. You have loads of half a crowns all over the timber. It looks terrible. This is a lovely way of doing it. There's no glue, nothing. That goes in there. Once that's done, everything's in, everything's locked on the top. It's a solid structure. There you are. Fantastic. So I'll carry on, get these last three in, then tie them in, and then we can think about covering the porch roof over then. Yep, and after we have our little break. Tea break? No, we'll have a little breakaway. Oh, breakaway. Oh, yes. Talked about it, didn't we? Little breakaway. We are actually going to properly put our tools down and relax. No cameras, just go for day trips. But mind you, when they see this, think about it, they'll see this. We've already done it, so it doesn't matter. Been there, done it. But I'm going to continue because we've done some new name plaques for the patrons, for the trees, for the orchard. Oh yeah, and people will be interested in seeing them. And you've made me some new pegs, but obviously this will be for patrons only. This video, the video anyway, guys, of the plaques. Let me carry on with this. Okie dokie. And we'll come back when we get a bit further on. Okay, folks. So Tracy's requisitioned my bench. My workbench. I'm trying to do some work here, and she's doing so. Tell us what you're doing then, Trey. I'm doing new plaques for the orchard for the Patreons, because the plaques we put in were just temporary, but I just came up with this idea to use slate, and of course Budo being the man, he cut the slates in half for me and drilled little pilot holes. So look. Yeah. Okay, and these are two I've done earlier, and just put jute string, and I thought they would look very nice, natural for the orchids. Annette Sharrock and Kelly McCoo. Yep. So far. So that will hang that way. I've had to write it this way because I wouldn't have had space if I wrote it on the diagonal. So I'm just over emphasising the letters. Oh, that's good.
And also we've got some for the lavenders, because we'll be naming
Lavender rose.
Lavender rose, and we've got 4 new trees for the 4 patrons as well.
They're coming later though, aren't they? Not yet.
Yeah, no.
Next month.
These ones are.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So,
but we've got 4 other trees coming as well.
Yeah, I think they'll like this. But
and you're using a waterproof and sunproof, isn't it?
yeah, it's waterproof and sunproof.
Gold pen.
Cold pen, and all I do is tap it when the gold runs a little bit short, but I thought it'd be lovely, and I'm sure they will like it as well.
Lovely. Fantastic. All right.
Child of keepsake, never really let it go. They say a clean slate, but everybody knows. But these days, my age it shows. And these days, memories they go. Blame daddy, he never really let us grow. Oh, but good Lord, we know why he chose. See the castle in it, daddy glows. But if rapture came, where would it go?
Okay, so we're here at the fète de bois, which means fète of the wood. This guy here is using a side axe, an old-fashioned side axe, which was used in the medieval times. And he's hewing the side of the log. If you look at the front of the log, you can see the where he's sectioned it out ready, as well as this fella over here. And this fella standing next to me, French, is dressed in the authentic carpenter's trousers and the carpenter's braces. It must have been their hats they used in their day. So we got some speed sawing over there to be done by hand, and then over here we got some carving with the chainsaws, and then we'll visit over there afterwards.
Hello everyone, as you know, Budo said earlier, we're at the fète de bois, and we're just going to take a walk over here now, because there's a French gentleman doing some hewing.
Yeah.
So, and he's all dressed in a traditional costume, so follow us.
Yeah, he's in the old traditional carpenter's costume. Allez. Bonjour. So this is what they call the posh carpenter. Actually, I've got a pair of braces like that. So that's our terrier barking at other dogs. It looks like tiring work for him. Yeah. Well, you use your upper body strength, but you also you have control. When you're hitting the tool down, you're stopping it as it's going in. We've got a fella over here. He's doing a bit of chainsaw carving. We've come to this fète de bois, but it's not like what you're used to in England. We normally go to massive, take all day to go around, but this is basically it. It's not very big, but it's very cute and traditional. And lots of families and French people here enjoying the day. Well, we're only here, it's this morning at the moment. It's morning for us, isn't it? But just thought you'd share our day with you. We're going to have a walk around the town in a bit to see what the town's all about. Maybe have a coffee or cafe. Love watching that. I could see that all day. Sorry. So this is a very old-fashioned system as well. This is just the first sawmills of the day. They're debarking it over there, getting it ready to go on the sledge, if you like. Get lovely flat planks, but it takes a little bit of time with that machine. Yeah, I suppose it is. It's a good, very good cut you get from that, you know. So there's the old technology over there, where they do it all by hand, and then it moved on to this sort of technology later on. And if you look over there, up there, you can see where I was like I was doing that porch. I made it in sections and put it together. But in the old days, they used to make the frame on the floor, and then they use an A-frame to pull it up to lift it. More like bigger construction than that. Yeah. Hypnotic, isn't it?
Yeah, I know that seems a bit strange.
Tracy likes wood being worked on, don't you? You get that sort of therapeutic feel. Don't answer that.
My mind's not thinking how
Hey, got to show you this one. Like, look at that for a chipper. It's a proper one, isn't it? Not like my little toy I got at home. Oh, it's interesting. Just shame it's so small, the place, but hey ho. Yeah, it's just a local community get together, the woodworkers. Wood is very abundant out here in this part of France, and there's a lot of woodworkers who work with oak and chestnut, Douglas fir, white firs and that. Anyway, he's nearly through the log, so just get the last bit through the log. Looks like he's cut a nice 1-inch plank anyway. It's got one down on the floor here, ready. So he's just oiling it up. You see that? He just put some oil on the brush to keep it lubricated as it comes out the end. Yeah, lovely bit of grain. And here we go, guys. We're through now. Look at that. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed that.
Hi there everyone, Budo's just called me out and I just had to film this. Well, I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. This is absolutely beautiful. The craftsmanship, I'm not trying to beef you up, Budo, but it's actually quite emotional because it's absolutely beautiful. And I know you're my partner, my husband, but we've been together a long time, but I know you don't find craftsmen like you. It's very rare. No, hang on, because it's absolutely beautiful. I want them to see what I'm looking at.
So I've got the roof on. All the trusses are done. I've peg jointed everything. I've done the dovetail half lap joints, you can see. So when you walk in the front door, normally people when they walk into a space, they always look up. So they'll see them joints as they come in and see the pegs. But also I put the ridge in.
Let me just come in.
Top, and I've put the pegs in to hold that as well. So it's all pegged. And now it's solid. So now all I've got to do is put a couple of bolts in to the wall, and then we got belt and braces and job's done.
It's funny you saying that because I'm like that. If I walk into a place that's beautiful, whether it's a museum, a country house, a chateau, I always look up at the ceiling. I don't ask, it's just something you do, but it's beautiful. I just want to show them again.
It's coming on. But that's it. That's the last now for a little while. Because we're gonna have a bit of a break now, aren't we, Trey?
Yes, we are.
Have a rest.
Cameras
for a couple
down.
of days, just to recharge, really. You know, people, I don't think you guys realise, but there's a lot of work in just doing the YouTube part. Probably uses anywhere between 7 and 9 hours a week to do a video for say 40 minutes. And while we're doing this, and you know, we're working late sometimes, so we're trying to do this. We're doing other jobs that need to be done around the farm and that as well. So it's busy. We need the break now, so we're going to cut it off for a couple of weeks, and then we'll be back with a big bang. Yep,
and we're just going to go out for day trips. We've got invitations as well, so we're going to take them up as well, and just, you know, enjoy the summer, really.
You know,
I think
we're
we
saying
deserve
this, but
it.
they're going to get this video, like I said it earlier, didn't I? They're going to get this video after we've been. Anyway, this is the reason we weren't around for 2 weeks.
Yes, this is the reason. Hope you enjoy, everyone. Thanks, Budo.
Done. Okay, so the first coat of white paint is just going on. You can see the beam has been done. Tracy's done the beam here, and the little beams up here have been done. And then once she gets that done, we get all the rest of the filling done, and then we can hit it with a couple of coats of white. So we've gone for a couple of beams over there are painted white.
Yep.
Now you're on to this one.
Yep, so I'm just going to get all these small beams painted first. Then once I've done that, then I'll go back and paint all the tape and joint in, and then I'll be able to see if I need to do any more filling. The beams will need another probably 1 or 2 coats.
Yep.
And there's a tiny little bit of filling up there to do, but that'll all be done after. But we want the beams to look more rugged, don't we?
Yeah.
Excuse my
So we debated whether we was going to have them black, the little beams, and they're a bit Tudory looking, but we decided on going white first, and if we like it for a little while, we keep it.
Yeah.
And if we don't, then we can move on to maybe looking at having more black and then keep the ceiling white, because you'd have to paint the ceiling white anyway.
Yeah, but you've just got to get it all done first and see, but it's definitely made the room feel warmer and brighter, I think.
Definitely.
Because the beams were very
It's made it look a little bit higher. That's the main thing, which we like. And on the staircase situation now, which is behind Tracy there, I think I'm going to make a whole new staircase there because it's very creaky, it's falling apart. We found some woodworm underneath it as well, so I think that's going to be the next stage on that, which is going to be a long way away to start first anyway, but we can use it for now.
That, are we?
No, we won't touch it, we'll work around it.
Because otherwise you're going to do all that work and then it's just for nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Right, so, okay, you carry on. I'm going to go out here now and show you what I'm up to. So, I showed you the frames up, and I've taken one frame down, which I've got over here now. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting on some laths. These are oak laths. I've got a pile here of oak laths, and they're seasoned and split. So I've just made up a little subframe in here on this frame. I'm going to lath this out, and then this is going to be rendered. So this will be at the front of the building over here. Okay, and then on the face of that, I didn't show you, but in the workshop I've made another frame like this, but without the middle strap here. Okay, I haven't done that part of it, and it's going to be going over the top of this. Okay, so it gives me a base to work my plaster into. I've left plenty of gap in here for the plaster, the lime to push through, and then on the back of this I'll be boarding all that out with match boarding, and we'll be painting that white because we want the inside of the roof, because it'll be tiled. Hopefully I'm going to start that tomorrow, but it'll be tiled, so we want the inside to be match boarded and painted white, so it keeps the ceiling very bright, but the rest of it, as you see, it will be oak. But anyway, I'll show you this is when it's all done. So we're starting to move on again after our little summer break we had, and now we've just got to contend with the rain. Look at that lot coming. Oh, it's never ended, but it's part of it. And we'll just hopefully try and get this all done before the rain comes. So look, you see some sheep wool there. Point this out to you. There's 2 bags of sheep wool. So Lionel asked me to help him go over and shear his sheep, and none of us have ever done it before. And well, the only thing we knew was that you had to get the sheep on their bums, so you had to lift them up and hold them on their bum, and then put your leg behind their back to hold them up. And it was quite an easy process, really. It was just back breaking. You know, it's only 3 sheep. I wouldn't want to do that for a living, but anyway, that's them. But that's all going to go in my bee boxes for insulating my bees, and that's another story altogether. We'll talk about that in the future. Okay. So I finished larving this off now, putting the larves on, and I put long larves down each end because I'm going to put a face on to this. This one is the A-frame that goes up at the front here, okay, and that allows me to plaster this now. And let me just put one up here, let me just try and show you. I'm one-handed at the moment, so you can see, actually, I'll turn you off and I'll bring you back in a sec. Okay, back. So I've just stood that in front of there. So this now is another frame that sits proud of this. So when I render in here, I can come into here and still have plenty of space for the render to sit back away from the rain coming down the front. I haven't dialed it yet until I get it all up. And you'll notice there's no cross frame on this one because we want to put some other timbers in there as struts, you know, as like wind bracing if you want. Anyway, so there you go. That's a larved frame, another old traditional way of doing things. The period of this is later than the medieval, so you're coming into the sort of early Georgian times, I suppose. Late, where would we be? We'd be somewhere in the 1600s, late 1600s. You'd start to see this coming, and you can see there's a dowel hole down there. I had to drill them out because I'd put them up. I got in my haste, I'd put them up and doweled them all in. So I had to drill it out, and then I'm going to have to redo it all again now. So, but anyway, there you go. There's a little bit more. So I'm going to get this on, fit this now because it's only early in the morning, and then start laying out the battens, which are here, and the roofing tiles. I've got some ridge tiles here. Very common thing in France, or this part of France, is they have black tiles and normally brown ridges going across. You see it all over the place, so we're just keeping with the theme. I've got all my tiles over there behind Tracy's plants ready to go on. I've worked out my pattern, which is because they're on a crochet hook system, so you have to have a worked out pattern to work it. So I've done all that, but anyway, look, tell what you think. Just wanted to show you these bees. If you watch, there's like every second or third one coming in has got big sacks of pollen on their legs, and this is nothing. This morning, oh my god, they were just heavily coming in. The bees were even coming in yellow. It was amazing. But you can see lots of them have got pollen on their legs, a lot of it, and they're making their bee bread and their wax inside. I just opened up the hive a little while ago, and they're very calm bees, which is fantastic. And just leave you watching them while I'm talking. They're very calm bees, and they let me go in there. No attacks or nothing, just busy getting their supplies. And they've already made out 2 frames since last week, so they've drawn actual 2 full frames since a week ago, and that is just amazing. So that's a cast, or a swarm that came in not too long ago, and they've already, if I look at the hive, I'll show you the hive box. These are the ones I make up, okay, and they are already to here filled with frames, from that all that way there, from the brood end all the way up. They're drawing cone on these 2 here, and I've put in another 4 for them, so they're about to here to really get going if they wanna. But look at the pollen on these, it's amazing. They're just so fascinating to sit and watch. You can sit and watch them for ages. I ain't got time obviously, but this colony, if it's a nice colony and the queen's laying good bees which aren't aggressive, which we'll find out in the next few weeks anyway, but I'm sure they're okay, they're just heavy workers, then we'll use her to breed more queens, and you know, build more colonies. So it's looking fantastic. A lot of bees working, busy as they say. Little pan over of Tracy's been doing in her garden, in her potager garden. It's just looking fabulous now. She's done such a good job, and she's put a lot of hard work in. Let's just have a quick gaze over here for you. So we've got all our potatoes in the buckets there. She's done all the another lot of potatoes here, which are all being mounded up. She mounds them up as the potatoes are growing. Courgette plants are getting off well, or are they pumpkins? One of courgette and pumpkins. She'll tell you what they are, but look at these. These ones I'm excited about, the fennels. Have a look at the fennels. Look at the size of those fennels coming up now, all the way along there. Lovely with a fish dish. We've got an abundance of trout around here we can get in the rivers, which is lovely. The red onions are looking beautiful. Currants, look at this. Look, let me show you the currants. I picked loads of these yesterday and ate them. Look, there's just loads of them there. Look, that's a 1st year plant. Next year that's going to be amazing. I'm going to pick a couple now. Oh, lovely. Have some currants. Got some gooseberries there. Got some these are supposed to be white currants, but they've come out pinky sort of colour. But anyway, we'll see. More gooseberries there. Red gooseberries here, look. Look at them. Beautiful. Tracy's done such a good job. And look at the now the willows, they're really getting off. So we get loads of cuttings off of them. And another good one she's got in. And growing up. Oh, I'm going to do some chipping for her soon and fill all these paths up. Beetroots. All these are beetroots. They're called bull's blood beetroots, and they make a lovely beetroot, a very red colour. And I'm sure she'll come up here soon and give you a good chat about what she's been doing here. So we've got the red currants over there. We've got blueberries here, and blueberries here, and more blueberries here. Actually, there's quite a few plants of blueberries there. Anyway, thought you'd like to see the bees in the garden, and I've had a cut up since we've stopped having our break. Now we're getting on with things, so I've cut the land. Orchard's looking beautiful. Some of them have got fruit on as well, and then we'll have a little walk. I wonder if yeah, let's do it, eh? Let's walk up to the lavenders. See, I'll walk quickly because past these bees. They are just going mad, the lavender. Very pleased with this year. Everything's growing very well, even the weeds, as they do. if the weeds are growing well, everything else will grow well. But look at the lavender, look, as we're approaching it. Doesn't that look beautiful? I just love it. I can't wait till that whole field's done. We've done some experimental cuts, took some cuttings already, see if we can root them in water quickly and then get some more rows going. But hey guys, what do you think of that? Look, all in bloom, beautiful. It's going to be another beautiful lavender field in France when it's all done, when this whole field's covered with it. But this phenomenal, this is called phenomenal, this one, and it is phenomenal. Look at the colour, deeper purple. It's nearly as big as the Grosso. I think it's the same genius, if you like, but doesn't that look wonderful, eh? Can you imagine? And the smell, I can smell it now. It just, oh, it's just a lovely sweet smell. It's just so beautiful. But anyway, we're back. Okay folks, so just started to put the felt on now to stop the water coming through. I'm going to put this side on as well, then the top cover. But I want to show you what the larves look like from the inside. I've just got to put some little bits on the bottoms, but I ain't here for that. I'll show you that later. But Tracy's been busy with the first coat.
Yeah, the first coat's all on now, on the ceiling, on the large beams and the small beams. So now look how much brighter it looks.
Yeah, it does. It looks much brighter, doesn't it?
I've taken the caps off of the speakers as well.
Yeah, so you'll see these black things on the ceiling. These are the speakers. We've got 4 in this room. From where was it called?
Heridio, was it Heridio?
Heridio, I think it was called, yeah.
Herdio.
Herdio, maybe a company that sent out these speakers, which are all wired in and they're Bluetoothed. But the ceiling's looking fantastic.
It does.
It's only one coat, the sealer, and that's going to keep it nice and bright.
But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go round over the ceiling and look to see what needs the decorators mate, and they'll be just fine filling. Then once I've done that, rub it all down, and then I can do the last coat then.
Okay folks, this wraps up the video now, this last bit. So I want to show you where I'm at. So I'm up on the roof of the porch, just admiring the view really, but all the felt and batten's done, as you can see, ready for the tiling. Look at that for a view, eh? Wow. Anyway, let's get myself down. Got to be a bit gentle. Climbing down here. So there we go. All the felt and battening done, all the spacing done for the tiles, all the laving done, all the trusses in and fixed, solid as a rock. Let me just show you quickly. I've got to sit on my butt for this one, so bear with me. So I'm now sitting down on the scaffold. Okay, so what we do is, the system we got here in France, we use these crochets, okay, and basically they hook over the batten like so. The distance here, I'm going to just set it up and show you. The distance here to here is the overhang I need to get me past this fascia board that's going to go on here. So what we do is, basically I'm going to do it quickly and just show you. Tile slots in there, okay. The next tile, there'll be 2 tiles under here. There'll be a cut tile and then an overlapping tile on the first stage, and then the others will be just building up like this. So if I show you, so the next tile would go up like so, okay, and then the next tile, what will happen there is, hang on, just going to get that one in. Sorry, wrong one. So the next tile would go up there, okay, and basically they're overlapping. They'll be halfway on these crochets. So hang on, let's just pull that out. So roughly there, right? So this overhang is the critical part, and that's determined by these spacings here. on the thickness of the batten and the space in here, which I've done the maths on, and that gives me the overhang. So what that means is, if I put let's put one in here to show you, it'd be easier. Move this one. Okay. Whoops, sorry. I'll put that in first. Getting ahead of myself, look. Okay, so the next one would go here. Okay. And if you notice that crochet that's sticking up in the middle there, it's overhanging the tile. The tile's up here. So when you water running down the next tile, which will be there, roughly. Okay, there's a tile underneath. And the water would run down here, hit this tile, run onto that tile and then run away. And that's the pattern basically, going all the way up. There'll be cuts on the ends, and I'm going to make some flashings because we ain't got none here. Normally in England we use lead, and we do a nice zigzag cut, 45 for the lead cutting, and we cut it in, but we can't do that here because they don't use the lead. Well, they do, but it's very difficult to find. So we're just going to use some zinc flashing. And I'm going to form all the flashings up, and they go the width of a tile and overhang by about 2 inches. But anyway, just wanted to summarise there for you. There we go, up to this stage now. So next week when you tune in, you'll see me tile all this, finish it, put the ridges on, put all the flashings down, and then Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, as they say, and it's ready for joinery. So joinery down here. So ready to do all the joinery and make all these sashes and start all the nice stuff. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And don't forget, like, share and subscribe, and let your friends know. And join us next week for the tiling.
Child to keepsake, never really let it go. They say a clean slate, but everybody knows. But these days, my age it shows. In these days, memories they go.